Now, people ask me about Daniel Kaluuya playing Fred Hampton. Again, if he has a Pan-Africanist spirit, I have no problem. But if he is just a black British coming over here making some money, playing black heroes, I have a problem. He's biologically African. Is he psychologically a Pan-Africanist? I don't know. Maybe he's on some British tribalism. I don't know. If he is, he don't need to be playing no ancestors of mine, right? But if the brother has a Pan-African mindset, I'm good. Okay, I'm a little concerned because I see in his interviews he like emphasizing that British accent. I'm a little concerned about that because no African playing African heroes should be emphasizing a British accent in an interview. That's not an African tongue. That's not an African tongue. The reason you speak that tongue is because the British came into your ancestral homeland of Uganda and colonized it. They went into the Caribbean islands and colonized it. So we should not be emphasizing British tongue. So that gives me I'm a little concerned that he may just be a black British Negro making money in Hollywood. I hope that's not the case. I hope he has a Pan-African consciousness.
I can't lie. I'm really rattled. I'm actually rattled by this video that we've just watched, that you've just listened to. It's not sitting right with me. It's not sitting right with me at all. We need to get into this. I need to get into this. It's the rundown with Sandra Ve Okidi. Let's go. So in this video, you've just watched Dr. UMAR JOHNSON, who is a doctor of clinical psychology, and he specializes in the education and mental health of African American children, and also considers himself the prince of Pan-Africanism. Now, I've heard about this guy. I've heard about UMAR JOHNSON. I've seen him on The Breakfast Club. He usually speaks some good facts. No problem with him at all. But this video, like I said, I've been rattled, and every time I watch it, it just re-rattles me entirely. And I'm like, first of all, you said his name wrong. You just opened up the speech completely off scale. You just said his name wrong, which doesn't that defeat the purpose of Pan-Africanism? Are we not supposed to sound united, but yet you can't even say his name properly and without apologizing to the brother in the first place? He said Kaluuya, and it's Kaluuya. Yeah? Say the name right. It just made me feel like of the times where, you know, you're at school or you go to work and we butcher our African names and they say your name wrong, and, you know, there's no apology. It's just like, oh, well, your name looks difficult, can't say it, and I'm just going to butcher it in front of your face type of thing. That's what it was giving me. Definitely giving me that vibe, and that's how it started off. So the tone was already set throughout that whole video, that whole time. And then he's speaking on the fact that he's emphasizing on his British accent, that Daniel Kaluuya is emphasizing on his British accent. Does that even make sense? Please make it make sense, because it really doesn't. This is somebody that's speaking English in an American accent, trying to come for Daniel Kaluuya speaking in his natural British accent. Does that even make sense? He has a problem with that. How do you emphasize on an accent? It's his natural way of speaking. That's like one of us saying to him, you're emphasizing on your American accent. So we have a problem with that. That's how they were born. That's how you was born. That's how you was raised. That's the accent you've learned. Same with us. Born, raised here. It's the accent we know. It's the accent we speak. Can't emphasize on it. It doesn't even make sense. And then what is British tribalism? I'd never heard really of that terminology here in the UK. I mean, there's no tribes in the UK like that to be speaking on British tribalism, so that doesn't even make sense, the point that he made there. And to also say that Daniel Kaluuya, that his accent is not of the African tongue and he has a problem with that. I mean, first of all, he's speaking English, so obviously it's not the African tongue. But is Daniel supposed to speak in his Wakandan accent the entire time? Is he supposed to speak in a Ugandan accent every single time he does interviews? Because it seems like Dr. Umar Johnson has a problem with every time Daniel Kaluuya does an interview, he's emphasizing on his British accent. So does that mean that he should speak in an African Ugandan accent the entire time? Should he be wearing the outfit from Wakanda every single time he does an interview to make them feel better? So for those of us here in the UK, you want us to dress and speak like this, huh? You want me to speak like this in my podcast, huh? In order for you to understand, Moreover, even for my peers like Daniel, you want him to speak like this? You want him dressed in a kanzu, huh? For you to understand what he is saying? Look at that, baby. Jolly take a look, man. If you are listening to this on audio and would like a translation, please head over to my YouTube channel where there are subtitles. The link is in my Instagram bio at sandra.ve.okidi, also on Twitter at Sandra Ve Okidi. This podcast will now resume in an emphasised British accent. Doesn't really make sense, does it? That sounds like a whole lot of waffle to me, to be very honest. And another thing, it's Uganda, not Uganda. It's Uganda. Very simple. I don't even understand how he's messed that up as well. Uganda. What the heck is a Uganda even in the first place? I don't know why people keep butchering that name and keep saying Uganda. It's Uganda. Okay? And then he's also concerned about Harriet, he's also concerned about Cynthia, who played Harriet Tubman, and he specifically said, you know, that sister's dating a white man, so that's definitely a problem. So now it's a problem not only to be Black British to play American heroes and American roles, as he says, it's a problem to be Black British and dating a white person or outside of your race, that you definitely cannot be doing that. It just seems like we're going down a very dangerous path of picking and choosing of when we want to be down for the cause, picking and choosing who we want to support and when we don't want to support. This is a person who considers himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism, and it seems like you're going against completely the whole notion of Pan-Africanism in the first place. The whole point of it is the advocacy of a united Africa throughout the diaspora, so that we are all one, all of us together in Africa, across Europe, across African America, across South America, across the Caribbean, that we are all one nation. And if the argument keeps coming up that Black British actors are taking our roles, then that's not being Pan-African, that's not being united, that's separating us further. Now, I'm speaking specifically on this video, you know, from Dr. Umar himself, but it's not just Dr. Umar Johnson that has been speaking on this. There seems to be an issue with Black British actors playing Black roles, specifically in biopics. You have films such as Selma, 12 Years a Slave, Harriet, and also, of course, one that we're talking about now, Judas and the Black Messiah. And even when Daniel Kaluuya played in the film Get Out by Jordan Peele, Samuel L. Jackson even criticized him during that time, back in 2017, and he said, and I quote, "I tend to wonder what that movie would have been with an American brother who really feels that." Daniel grew up in a country where they've been interracially dating for 100 years. What would a brother from America have made of that role? And then he later went on to say, you know, it's all good, everybody needs work. Yes, it's never been illegal here in the UK to marry outside of your race, but I'm pretty sure interracial couples, especially back in the day, were on the end of heavy racism. I'm pretty sure life wasn't just a swing in a park for them. And you know, that just draws me back to what UMAR Johnson said in his video. He said the sister who played Harriet Tubman is with a white man, so he's concerned about her playing Harriet Tubman because she's dating a white man, or was, I don't know, but at the time. And it's like, so what if you're dating interracially, you can't play a black character? Does that even that doesn't make sense to me. Let me know if that makes sense to you, but that doesn't make no sense to me. Okay, like, date who you like, be with who you like. At the end of the day, if you are good at your craft and you can embody the character that you are playing, it's acting. It's called acting for a reason. If you can act so good that when you play this role, people believe it, people feel it, you know, when you look on the TV screen, this person looks like the person that you are portraying, then absolutely go for it. Absolutely do it. And I don't think we should be criticizing it if the person has played that role so well. And if, you know, even if the family of the people who are being portrayed approve, if the family approve of it, then why has everybody else got something else to say? The family of Fred Hampton approved of Daniel's role in the film. I would generally say that after watching that video, that some African Americans have this misguided belief that we don't experience racism here in the UK or across Europe or across the diaspora, that, you know, we don't understand the struggles of living in a Western society, because we definitely do. You know, I would generally say that some African Americans do not know of Black British history at all, and which is why they can't comprehend a Black British person playing the role of a African American person. Again, like I said, I think at the end of the day, if you are good at your craft, if you're a great actor and you know how to embody that person that you are playing, you know how to portray that person, and you make us feel like we are watching Fred Hampton, that we are watching whoever you are playing, then there should be no problem at all. If you have respect for, you know, the research and the work that goes into playing that character, if you have respect for that person you are, even, you know, that you're playing, maybe not necessarily have respect for the person, but if you can respect the craft of acting and getting into that person's character, then I think you should be able to do it. And he obviously did it bloody well, didn't he? So you've been listening to the Rundown Podcast with me, Sandra Ve Okidi. I am available on YouTube now, so please make sure you go over to my channel to subscribe. It looks just like this. And also, if you just like the sound of my voice, you can go over to the audio streaming platforms as well. I'm available on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many more. So please head over there to subscribe and listen to all my episodes. Many thank yous, and I'll see you on the next one.